I'm Led.
I'm Dr. John.
And tonight we're going to talk about school lunches.
And maybe some Kamala Harris.
And some other stuff.
Yeah. Let's start the show.
Dr. John, the podcast flow. Tell him right, you bend it all out, you fall. One brings the knowledge, the other teaches strength. The change in the dance and the brand new brain. Speed facts, dropping knowledge bombs on the mic. Dr. John keeps it straight and making sure it's tight. Together they're a force, a podcast duo so fly. Bringing truth and wisdom, reaching for the sky. And Dr. John.
All right, everybody. Before we get started, I would just want to wish John and Shelley a happy anniversary.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
Well, we're not doing the show Sunday. We're doing it today. And so I'm going to say that, it's their anniversary.
Well,
I think,
thank you, Ed.
like,
Coming up.
35 years, isn't it? Something like that.
Seems like it.
Bless your heart. But congratulations and happy anniversary.
All right. Hey,
let's
I
go.
got a couple things I want to say.
Okay.
You guys see right here, we got to thank, we got one of our first sponsors.
Right on.
Devious Dan from Roberts Graphics over in Brunswick
Most awesome.
graciously made us this banner and donated to our podcast, so that's like our first sponsor.
Right, you gotta
Along
be.
with, who's the other sponsor?
Young's 3D printing and designs.
Made us some nice shirts. You guys got to look them up.
And this, they made this too,
They made that. So we're getting some sponsors who are donating some stuff too, so it's great.
which is really cool. It makes the set look really good.
And our email is ed@drjohn@gmail.com if you want to contact us. So we're doing it at the beginning of the show because nobody watches the end to get it. So there we go. So,
And don't forget to vote for Judge Shanahan.
and Judge Hawkins.
That's right. Supreme Court Justice
Court
and
Justice.
Dieters. Judge Dieters
Judge
also.
Dieters also. The R behind the name. Vote
Bernie
for it.
Marino. Anybody with an R, just go that way. Anybody else, no.
So what's the topic tonight, Ed?
Well, we're going to address some school lunches and, we're going to talk about prices, nutritional values, and that kind of stuff.
And what's going on with that?
Well, they vary from school to school pretty much. When we're lucky enough that we live out in the farm,
Community.
right? So we, a lot of the food comes from our community here, but
The rural areas seem to do more
well, they're-
dealing with the local farms and doing
Right.
stuff and bringing in better food for the kids. But you go to the suburban areas and the cities,
and not so much.
it's not good.
No.
Big
no.
corporations running the food, getting
Right.
checks from the government.
And a lot of the food ain't even getting, the majority of the money that goes to labor of the food, 45% of it, of the money that the government pays is going to labor on the food.
Well, I read that they spend millions of dollars lobbying our government
Oh, yeah.
to lower the food standards for the children.
Right, so
So,
they
they
can
can
make
make more money and sell
Right.
cheaper food.
Exactly
What's up
right.
with that?
Well, it's just more proof that the government doesn't care about the youth of this country.
Who was the one who got involved with the food program?
I think his name was Big Mike.
Oh, yeah, Michelle Obama.
Oh, yeah. Her too.
Yeah.
But that totally. I can honestly say, when we were kids, I always looked forward to pizza on Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
And it was good pizza.
Yeah, it was good.
And I went to have dinner a couple years back, lunch with my grandson, and the lunch was horrible. And it was pizza. And it was like cardboard pizza. It was like-
Tombstone.
I was looking forward to it. I was like, this is worse than Little Caesars, I thought, But I ate it, though, because, I was with my grandson, and I had to make a good example. I wanted him to eat his food, too.
You know, these companies are spending $1.8 billion a year to promote food products to youth, mainly sugary and fast food stuff to create lifelong customers.
Right, well,
And why we got so much obesity?
Well, it's not only that. Lifelong customers like McDonald's and Burger
Yeah.
King, but it's also the pharmaceutical companies that are going to pay for their
Oh, yeah, they're drugs.
high blood pressure pills and their cholesterol pills, and, and then you got lifelong customers in that. Excuse me.
Feeding our children crap.
Right, and that's that's the majority of it, and it's by design, to get those guys to
To what?
I got stuff popping up on my thing here. So
That's all right.
It's just getting them to where they're constantly coming back for more of this junk food that's got no nutritional value, and then eventually it ruins their health where they're cutting, and then they got to go to the doctor. And
Well, a lot of schools outsourcing their food programs to these big corporations.
Right.
Prepackaged food, lots of sugary food, lots of crap, vending machines, all kinds of garbage.
And when we were kids, John, there was very few people that were getting like their stomach banded and stapled and stuff like that because they were obese. now it's like a regular thing, you know, and it's because it's not even their own fault. It's just all the garbage that they're mixing into the food. It's causing obesity and people even to get lazier. You know, they don't want to exercise. They don't want to do much or anything.
High fructose corn syrup. If you don't know what that is, look it up and find out what it does to you. It's terrible for you.
I'll guarantee if you open a bag of Doritos and read the ingredients, half the stuff you're not even know what it is.
And what's really sad,
Still gonna eat it,
in Europe, a lot of the stuff that's in our food is not allowed in food in Europe,
Right.
but they're letting us eat it. And you need to start reading your labels. You start looking at things. Words that you can't pronounce don't need to go in your mouth.
And there's a lot of right. And there's a lot of pesticides and insecticides and stuff like that, and even some fertilizers that it's used on our food that are
Can't use overseas.
Right. And Vladimir Putin will not let them. He's actually giving farmers land to farm as long as they don't use any of
And
that
you know
kind of
why
stuff.
all that's in our food? I can tell you, you're going to be lobbyists.
Exactly.
That's who does it. Lobbyists. They go in there, millions of dollars. They pad these politicians' pockets to allow them to do this.
And we've covered that.
And
too.
they say, okay, you can do that. We don't care about the American people because you're giving me a bunch of money.
Right. Or we're going to sell you that $10 million boat for $300,000.
Yeah, lobbyists.
Yeah, no,
that's
just the way
that's
it
the
is.
root of all evil of our country.
It's definitely ruined our country, and you know, there's really not a whole lot of
It's legal
restraint on
damn
it.
bribery.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And well, you got a lot of people that, well, I think it was Donald Trump actually made a rule that once a senator or congressman leaves office, he can't be a lobbyist for a couple years after he leaves office. They used to be they'd leave the office a week later, they were lobbying, but they already had the inside tracks, you know.
Does any kid go to school and say, teacher says, wait, well, I want to be a lobbyist?
No.
No.
I don't know how they get there. They go to college and figure that out.
They go to college, get indoctrinated,
Right.
become a lawyer, and the next thing you know, they're a
And
lobbyist.
the next thing you know, they're a lobbyist. So that's where the money's at, John. You
Well,
know, and
lobbyists should be locked up.
they're paid by these huge corporations to go in there and get their way, you know, and by any means necessary.
Well, how can you justify spending $1.8 billion to promote food products to kids? How much money are they making if they're spending almost $2 billion
Well, you know,
to promote their sugary and their fast food and their bullshit?
Right. Well, our Department of Education is ridiculous. You know, they're the ones we really do need to send the education back to the states. When we led the world in science and math, after Jimmy Carter opened up the Department of Education, I think we're 29th or 30th now in the world.
Oh, yeah.
So no more moon landings for America because we're just too stupid. And not only that, you know,
We are stupid because I'm reading stuff on the internet and I'm like, we are stupid.
And you know, the internet's another problem. You know, you got these guys that's got absolutely no thinking for themselves. So anything they want to figure out, they just go online and see what the government tells them, and they take that for gospel. You know what I mean? They just believe whatever pops up on their computer screen or their cell phone, and they go with it.
What do you got?
I'm just looking at some of the, you know, breakfast programs. It's not all bad.
Do you remember what a vending machine was when you went to school?
We didn't have vending
We
machines.
didn't have vending machines, did we?
Nope, they have now. Well, they even had them when my kids were in school, and they had soda and, you know, candy bars and potato chips and all that. We didn't have any of that when we were in school.
We didn't have none of that.
We had decent food. We
Bought
had,
your lunch or you ate whatever they served
right,
you at lunch.
Right. That's the way it was.
I never really liked green beans at school, though. They just always
Yeah.
tasted funky.
And the
Not
corn
like
too.
my green beans.
Well, there's a few things I didn't like, you know, that they made at the school, but for the most part, when we were kids, it wasn't half bad. But the price, you know, I can remember, I think elementary school, I think my mom had to pay 35 cents for me to eat lunch.
I have no idea what I ate in elementary school,
And by the
but
time
whatever
I-
was on the plate.
By the time I got into high school, it was like almost $2.
Yeah,
So
$2.
that's how fast it went up. You know, and you look at our age range. You know, in 1979, I was 11 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by the time I got through high school, just talking 5-6 years of the Department of Education, the price of lunch had 8 times the amount or 10 times the amount. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's saying
And it's
here
just going
that
to get worse and worse too.
the average cost with the free lunch deal was like $3.81, and the federal reimbursement, they reimburse the school $3.32. So they're sort of losing like 50 cents a meal
Right.
because they won't reimburse them the whole thing. So the only thing they can do is buy cheaper, crappier
Right.
food, feed them more garbage, because they won't even, you know, kick on an extra
That's true.
50 cents to give them a good meal. So
Well, and there's also, you got your free lunch programs for
Go ahead.
underprivileged children and stuff like that. But there is legislation, though. I heard about it. I haven't really been able to find a lot of information on it quite yet, but it's going to be coming through where they want to try to make breakfast and lunch free for all students, no matter what their parents' financial situation is. And I don't think that's all bad either.
Well, whatever.
You want to rant some?
I want to rant.
Let's do it.
Got a good rant this week.
Yeah.
What's our rant this week, Ed?
Woke companies.
Wokeism. Oh my God.
Yep. Let's start with
There it goes.
Let's start with Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson, what the hell's going on?
Backstabbing bastards. First they hired a German to run the place. Now they're
Yep.
taking it all overseas. Man, I'm gonna buy me a
Jochen
Honda.
Zeitz.
I love my Harley, but John, I think I'm gonna buy a Honda. At least I know where it comes from. Yeah, is that his name? How's it?
Jochen Zeitz.
Yeah, that's a
Woke.
that is a
woke.
mouthful. They're good. He brags about being a DEI, and he's all about climate change.
Climate change and
So-
all this stuff and woke. What's all electric Harleys, spitting in everybody's face that owns a Harley.
Had 7 people show up at their booth in Sturgis.
Yeah.
All of them were from Indonesia, probably looking for a job. Oh my God! And then you got Target. Let's talk about Target. Another woke company,
Another
where they
woke company.
sell the bikinis with the little penis pouches in them and shit. And
I am sick of this
Why?
woke crap.
Why? I mean, let's not even get to the Bud Light and the Dylan Mulvaney thing. You know what I mean?
You going woke, you're gonna go broke because you're gonna wake up the people and you're gonna find out.
Well, you know what? Donald says anything woke turns to shit. He ain't kidding.
Well, there's a difference between being aware of stuff and wanting justices and being woke. Woke is just stupid.
Well, all 3 of the companies we mentioned are pretty much tanking.
Well, good.
And deserve it, because once you go woke, you go broke, and that's just the gist of that. And there's a bunch of other companies that are following right along with them, and we just have to watch where we're spending our money. That's all there is to it.
Well, we live in a time now where everything is offensive to somebody, and then they're going
Right.
to whine about it. And we got to toughen the hell up, people.
Well,
I got my ass busted, and I got my feelings hurt, and I got all kinds of things done when I grew up. You know what? I got up, I dusted my ass off, and I kept going. And I went, screw them. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what they say. But oh no, not today.
Nope.
Oh no, we got to whine and cry and carry on until somebody does something. You got no backbone.
And if you want certain funding, you got to go that way. You know what I mean? Or you don't get those subsidies and stuff of that nature.
Well, that's our government and their stupid woke crap.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris, oh, we got to stay woke. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
And that's the 3-minute rant.
Just one last thing.
Go ahead.
Screw Harley Davidson.
Yeah, Harley, we're going to start buying Indians.
Damn right.
True American machine.
All right, well, let's talk about Kamala while we're at it. Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
see she came out with her economic plan today?
No, I
think
did
she-
not.
Typical Kamala or Camilla or whatever her name is. She stole it from Joseph Stalin.
You know what I don't understand? If you're watching this, she's up there complaining about all things that are wrong. Oh, this, and we're going to change that and change. Who the hell's in office right now?
Right.
So
On
they got
day
to
one.
change. She's complaining she's got to change the stuff they did to make it better, but they're the ones doing it. So why don't you change it now?
Well, not only that, John, she's the one that signed off on the Inflation Reduction Act and the Bidenomics thing. She was the tying vote. They were tied in the Senate.
Oh yeah, and
She's the vice president, so she affirmed them. She affirmed both of them. Everything that's pretty much killed the country in the last 3 years is on Kamala Harris's shoulders.
And I want to know who in the hell came up with this dumb term Bidenomics, because I ain't seen any nomics about it.
Well, it was supposed to build back better, but they ain't built shit, nothing. If anything, they've destroyed everything.
Build back better.
Well, they definitely destroyed the economy.
I've seen a few contractors like that build back better, and we got to come in and fix all the stuff they did.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, that's up to everybody to vote in November. Or actually, here in Ohio, I think it's October 9th.
And then I
think
just
we can
read
start
they're going,
early.
oh yeah, she's going to win by a landslide. We're predicting maybe she's going to have a landslide. Maybe
You know what? And if
330
you're,
some
and if
delegates
you're a
now.
Democrat, believe that. You don't even know to go vote.
Yeah, you don't got to go vote.
Yeah.
You got to win by so many votes. You don't need to go in and vote.
But if you love your country, you're going to get your whole family in there and all their friends and all their friends and their friends even, and you're all going to go down there and vote. You're going to vote early, and because you don't want to try. If any of you watched what happened with Donald Trump and Elon Musk the other day, That's what's going to happen on election day.
Did you see they hijacked the X
Yep.
thing and tried to cyber attack it?
And
they
the
had it
same
all
thing's
messed up
going to
at the
happen with
beginning?
your voting machines. They're going to try to screw you
Oh, they're
over on-
definitely going to cheat.
But if you vote early, and I think October 9th you can start voting here in Ohio. You can vote early.
We
Do
highly
so.
recommend early voting this year because
And
the
any-
machines are going to change the vote. They're going to screw with the vote. They're going to make heavily Republican areas the voting machines screw up so you can't vote. They're going to create long lines. They're going to do everything they can do. Get in there and vote early.
And they know there's going to be a big Republican turnout because we're all sick of the shit we've been living through the last 3.5 years. So remember, if they got an R by their name, that's who you're going to vote for. And if it's a MAGA candidate, you're definitely going to vote for that person, such as the fine people behind us, like Judge Shanahan and Mr. Hawkins over here, and Judge Dieters and Bernie Moreno. You don't want Sherrod Brown no more. I challenge anybody out there, email me one thing Sherrod Brown has ever done good for Ohio. Just one thing.
Yeah, email us. Let us know give us your viewpoint.
If you
what
get-
did Sheriff Bryan ever do for Ohio?
Google it. I'll wait. But
Yeah.
you ain't gonna find shit because he ain't done nothing ever.
Crime out of a dish from a drunk wino episode the night before.
Yeah, he's got some hair plugs or something. I think. I don't know. He looks a little weird to me. But-
Probably, I'm saying. I don't know if that's true. Just probably.
All right, let's go back to Kamala Harris and her running mate Tim Walz with the horse fetish.
Yeah, stop it with the horse thing. I'm pretty sure that's.
Not even doing that. Every picture I see of this guy, he just makes my skin crawl. You cannot tell me this guy's not a pervert.
He's ultra
weirdo.
commie.
You know, Tampon Tim. Come on.
Look what he let happen in Minneapolis.
Oh Lord. But they burnt what was it, $5 billion worth of damage or something? I forget what it was, 250 billion or some shit.
Speaking of billion, you see how much money it's cost the city of New York for all the migrants?
Oh yeah.
$5 billion they've spent so far.
Right, and they're talking
Taking
about
care of
rape-
migrants,
talking about
illegal
rape-
migrants.
No, they're staying in 4-star hotels, man.
$5 billion
getting
and
catered
going up.
meals.
Where'd they come up with that money?
Well, it's tax money,
Yeah.
and that's
So how they
it's
just
our
magically
money.
come up with $5 billion extra dollars to take care of them people?
Well, they print 100 trillion every 90 days. Or they print $1 trillion every 90
There's
days.
all kinds of things they couldn't do, but magically they came up with $5 billion to take care of a bunch of illegal immigrants.
Right. Yep.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
They can't take care of veterans.
No,
They can't take care of.
the normal people in the city
Right.
that lived there all their lives. They can't help
But
them.
we can take care of these people that shouldn't be here to begin with. I
Well,
don't have a problem with legal immigration. Don't
I just
get me
want to know where the
wrong.
money came from.
Well, it came out of thin air because they print that shit out
Yeah,
of
thin air.
John.
Yeah, they pulled it
And
out their
they're
ass.
expecting our kids and our grandkids and their grandkids and their grandkids to pay all this
Oh,
back
they're
in the
not
future.
expecting to pay for it.
No, not them guys. Ours.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you're white, you're probably going to be paying it back.
Oh.
If you're
Did you
white
see
and
that
American,
Harley Davidson? Speaking of that, if you're white, they had a class. This Zeitz guy,
oh,
all the white males that worked for Harley Davidson had to go to a camp
right.
and be indoctrinated for wokeism and just the white men, not anybody else, just the white men all had to go to this schooling to be
That's
for
insane.
their bullshit.
Insane.
Now, if we'd have said, hey, say I started a company, I said, hey, all you black sons of guns, you're going to training because you got to learn how to act right and be. They would be all over me, calling me all kinds of things, but it's okay. He does that to all the white men. That's
Or-
racist as hell.
Or anything. You could say you illegal immigrants have to go and learn English
Anybody.
and assimilate.
As soon as you pick
We're the
out one
pleasant-
group of people and you say they got to do it, that is
John,
completely racist.
if we even come out and say that you immigrants have to learn the Pledge of Allegiance, Kamala Harris is going to send a goon squad after us.
Yeah, you got to speak English. Oh, you got a goon squad. But I think that's bullshit. All these white men had to go to this schooling,
Right. Oh, it is bullshit. It is bullshit.
indoctrination.
And you know,
Indoctrinate.
and they're probably not a racist amongst them. You know what I mean? You know, people are. I don't know where it all
Well, as
came
far
from.
as diversity and
Wait, I do know where it came from.
Where?
Barack Obama.
oh,
Because I didn't even think about racism or racist or anything like that until Trayvon got shot by a.
he's worth his tits on a
Haitian.
poor hog.
Well, that Latino guy shot him, and you know that was a big thing. And then Michael Brown got shot. You know, and Obama just blew every one of those out of the
Well,
water. He made a racial issue out of
Well,
them.
he made a great racial divide when I thought he was going to be a uniter of people.
Right.
All he did was make people more
Not just a Muslim.
divided amongst each other according to race.
That's what he was supposed to do.
And he's still doing it. He's the one pulling the strings in the backside.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I was listening to a radio show today where he kept saying, "Oh, Biden." Pretty funny, actually. But yeah, well, you know what it is. It's just got to be. You just got to vote. You just got to get all your friends and your family. And
If you believe Kamala Harris is ahead in all the polls, you're crazy, because there's no way. It's media hype. It's bullshit. They want to do this so they can so then they try to cheat me and say, well, we already told you she was ahead in the polls. That's why she won. It's not true. They're making this crap up. They're making up these crowds that are rallies. They're
Nobody's
using
ever voted
AI.
for her.
They're doing everything else in the world. They're pulling every string they can to make us believe this. I'm a non-conformant. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. And the reason why is because you can't really find anybody that supports Kamala Harris.
At least in our area, but
Right.
I'm sure I could find plenty of them on the internet.
Well, she didn't even get 1% of the vote when she tried to run for
Of course,
president.
half of them people on Facebook and everything else are just bots or they're made up accounts
Right.
to make rhetoric.
Or you
They're
got
not real
Chinese guys that
people.
are tagged into 20 different sites and
And they're all making up this crap, making you
Advocating.
believe they're a person and they're not, and they're all saying all this crap.
But that being said, that's why it's more important than anything that you go to the polls and vote or
Early
or
vote, I'm
early.
telling you, early vote's the way to go this year.
Absolutely.
We all
Absolutely.
going to early vote. That machine, what is that machine?
Dominion.
Dominion machine can't be changing your votes and make this
And we get the
anomaly.
we get the right people in office, those machines will go in
And
the
vote
scrapyard.
and volunteer for your local precincts. Volunteer for your precincts to help
Right.
watch. Everybody's got to start doing
Be a
that.
poll watcher,
Be a
a
poll
door
watcher,
knocker,
do
all that.
stuff, all that stuff. Get 10 people to register. Get 10 people to register. Your friends register to vote. 10-10. You know.
Right, and it's not that hard. I mean,
I'm
I've
working
got
on it every day.
I've gotten a couple people already on my pool league, and a couple of my coworkers. I've hounded them to the point where they got sick of hearing me say it, so they
Yeah, just
registered.
hound them to death. I'm hounding my neighbors. They're like, no. I said, nope, you're voting this year. I can get you an absentee ballot. I don't care.
And you're going to hear us talk about registering every show between now and the election because I want you to be sick of us saying it because it's so important that you register to vote.
My grandchildren's
and vote.
lives depend on this.
All of our grandchildren's lives depend on it. And if you have granddaughters, it's even more important. You really just gotta. You don't want them to fight this fight. Well, John, what do you think?
Well, I think that's a wrap.
I think it
We
is.
forget
too.
anything?
I don't think so.
Harley Davidson, you're going down.
I'll never buy another one.
Fire that man now.
I'll never buy another one.
No, and I'm not buying any merchandise. I don't even ride a Harley.
I love my Harley, but I'm sad.
Yeah.
I am sad.
So, I'm Dr. John.
I'm with Led,
This is enough already. Thanks for watching.
and we'll see you next week.
Good deal.
Podcast flow, telling you right, you bend it all out, you know. One brings the knowledge, the other keeps it straight. The changing, the dance, and the brain.
hear the music now.
Dropping knowledge bombs on the mic. I'm Dr. John, keeps it straight and keep it short and tight. Together they're a force, a podcast duo so fly, bringing truth and wisdom.